morning. Today we're doing our debrief session at the British Council offices with Simon and Sue.
Okay, so as I'm saying, guys, the reason for today is a debrief session for us. Just to have a chance really to reflect and talk about the visit, and just, you know, for me to find out from you guys how you feel it's gone, what was good, what was bad, and what you feel that you've learned and got out of your time in Wales here. I can't believe it's gone so quickly, to be honest, guys. Does it seem like you've been here 2 weeks to you guys?
It seems like it's gone quickly, but then it seems like a long time at the same time.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying there in terms of when, you know, I felt that about some things sometimes. It flies by, but because you probably pack a lot in during that time, it probably, to an extent, feels like you've been here a really, really long time. Looking forward to going back though, everyone.
I've got another 5 days, and Amy's got 2 weeks. So.
Very cool. That's what I've learned. Well, I've had a really good overview of lots of things, which I think is really interesting. And it's interesting to come to a country, and we've almost seen across the entire sector, which I know we probably haven't in a week and a half seen everything that you could, but to have people from your ministry, to have primary, to have the foundation stage stuff and the secondary, it's like we've got a really good view of the entire system, which I think is really helpful. I've been really impressed with the global thinking that goes on in primary schools and secondary schools there. They all seem to want to avoid isolation, and I don't know whether that's because Wales is a smaller place and you perhaps more aware of it, but
I think you're absolutely right there.
Yeah. But the connections and the links they want to make with other countries in Europe and Africa and so on, it's really good for building students, I think, that have a global awareness, and impressive compared to what we do in New Zealand. Like, I don't think we have that sort of participation and all of those things with a global network.
I've been really impressed with the foundation stages and the overview, the way they've rolled it out across the country and the way it's now moving forward into the older ages. It's along the same lines of what we do in New Zealand, so it's been really reassuring to see that other countries are taking on child-initiated learning. And then to see the school yesterday, when they have the Leonardo way of teaching and learning, has been great, because I see that follows on directly from the foundation years. It's been great.
I've enjoyed everything pretty much, but my favourite thing was the last primary school we went to, Long Lass.
Okay.
But just because the program that they were running I thought was absolutely fantastic, and I could really imagine doing it myself or trying to do it myself. So,
can you tell me a little bit about what that was?
The Leonardo program, and
right, okay.
It's very child-centred, and they basically have a topic, and then the kids think of every single question they can think of to do with that topic. So one of them, they're looking at the forest, and one of the kids' questions was, why do hedgehogs have spikes? And so they do that before their holiday at the end of each 6-week period, and then the whole of the next 6 weeks is the kids finding out, answering those questions in a whole lot of different ways. They might decide to do a poster, or they might decide to do a pamphlet or a newsletter or whatever. It's up to them. It's a little bit scaffolded by the teacher, like the one that we spoke to, I can't remember what her name was, but she did a skills lesson on a Monday. And then, I really like that, because she said, even though she's not, but her teaching assistant will take the reading groups and stuff, but the rest of them are so involved in reading and writing and stuff in all sorts of different ways that are kind of relevant and meaningful that they all learn heaps. I really like that.
I think that in terms of schools, one of the probably important things to note is that with the school visits, the ones that have been probably the most beneficial are ones that we've had the mixture of touring around the school, being in classrooms, and having time to debrief and talk to and pursue what we're interested in with the head teachers or with the teachers involved. There was, one of the schools we went to, we were sort of put in a room with students and staff, about 3 of each, and it's just more like a panel discussion, and that wasn't nearly as helpful as other ones, because you didn't really get the feel of the school.
Sure.
Other ones we were in classrooms a large period of the time, and then didn't get that chance to debrief and talk to the head teachers and talk to teachers that were in charge of projects that we were interested in, and so we had to sort of just take contact details and move on. So it would have been nice, like the best sort of practice it seems for that is that combination of the
two. brilliant within the British Council is I look at analysing and research in terms of international involvement and participation in the types of programmes that the British Council run. And one of the things that we've found through a lot of research coming through quite strongly is that primary schools often we have a much higher take-up in terms of international activities and the programmes we run from primary schools than we do from secondary schools. I think it's approximately around about 65% of what we have taken up is run primarily through the primary schools. And I think one of the reasons that we've often been explained that this is because they don't necessarily have that cross-curricular approach. They find it easier to integrate an international aspect across every subject and have a whole school approach to it. And I was, just thinking in your own experiences, of maybe just any kind of project that you'd be looking at from, the difference between a whole school basis, which is what we're trying to achieve through a lot of our work. Do you feel that's something that...
It does become harder at secondary, I think, because you perhaps have your curriculum, it is clearly, divided or sliced up into areas, so English, maths, so on and so on. So I guess in a primary you have one teacher who's in charge of 28 students, and they can integrate that international global thinking all the time with the kids. Whereas at secondary you have 6 periods in a day, 6 different teachers, teaching different things, so perhaps it becomes more difficult.